good about Cornell, bro. Really. Honestly, it's just people. A big part that makes up Cornell. It's like the diverse groups of like Asians, like African Americans, Caucasians, like just so many races. What the fuck? Don't put that in. She might have fucked up.
Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. I'm Chris if you're new here. I totally forgot to film a intro when I was filming this, so here I am right now. A lot of you guys really enjoyed my last video, which I'll plug right here. And I still had a lot of friends that were interested in helping me out with this video, so I wanted to make a part 2. So here we go.
I chose Cornell it had a major that was almost exactly what I was interested in. I'm a nutrition major, and I feel like that is a field that, especially like there's only 23 nutrition majors at Cornell in the freshman class, so I feel like you are definitely able to take your interests and your passions, and there's definitely a place for you as in study, or if there's not the major, there's a club or a program that you definitely can find to tailor your college experience there. One of the things that I was concerned about when I first got accepted to Cornell was if I would belong there, and that kind of imposter syndrome, because my high school, I was the only person that got into an Ivy League, or almost, there was like one other person who applied. So I don't know if I belong in that atmosphere. And I also got accepted. My letter came with like a diversity hosting invitation as well. That program was amazing, and I felt like it kind of bridged the gap of feeling like, are there going to be people like me?
Reasons why I think people might not want to come to Cornell is that it's very much a work hard, play hard mentality. You spend those long times and the hours during the day so that you go out at night and you have a good time, and it's very much just you put your all into everything. And I think another good thing about Cornell is you're gonna find your social scene literally anywhere. I think every single club I've joined, there's been some sort of social aspect of it too, even if it's just like a political club or if it's like a business club.
3 cons that I can think of. Number 1, the housing system at Cornell. It's a little wacky. It's not like other colleges where like you have guaranteed housing for all 4 years. After you're guaranteed housing for your first 2 years, but sophomore year, you have to go through like a weird like housing lottery system, and it adds a lot of stress. Cause a lot of people like want to block with their friends, but it's randomized, so it just adds a lot of stress, like needless stress that doesn't need to be there. And a lot of people end up in the Gothics, which are like housing that's not too great. There's a great discrepancy between like the good housing and the like bad housing for a sophomore year. So that's something that definitely needs to like improve. On top of that, I would say like the dining as well for like student workers. A lot of the food places, like Trillium, RBCC, Appel, they're not very accommodating. I feel like are flexible with their student workers, especially when it comes down to like final or like midterm season as well. And finally, I'll say there's a little bit like more of an improvement that Cornell has made, but just like mental health awareness in general, especially when like prelim season rolls around, midterm season, finals, a lot more like announcements about the availability of the mental health experts and stuff like that, the student services. They're always willing to help students who are feeling stressed out. So definitely like an improvement I'll see like that Cornell has made recently for sure. And yeah, 3 cons for Cornell.
One negative, you're gonna hear this a lot, but it's the workload. But I just wanted to talk specifically about the ILR experience. Like in high school, like you don't really have to read like primary text and stuff, but like if you're not used to that, I'm just gonna straight up tell you, it's gonna be hard. Like the first month felt much more stressful than like studying for an AP exam or like getting an essay done. And like in ILR, I think like every week I had like on a good week you'd have an essay due, on a bad week you might have 3 papers due, and like you'll have hundreds of pages of reading. So like the first semester is going to be hard.
The reason why I like Cornell is because Cornell has really interesting PE classes, like bowling, massage, archery, and anything you can like possibly think of. And I think there are a lot of like research labs that students can apply to be on RA. And like Cornell and the professor, like they offer a lot of opportunities for students for hands-on experience. Enrollment and scheduling is pretty tough too. Like I guess fall pre-enrollment was easy, but spring enrollment can be very competitive. And as an international student, I find it very challenging to, fly back home because JFK is like 5 hours away. And if I fly from Ithaca, I have to, there are no direct flights. So I have to like get a connected flight. And also, And also it's very scary to walk alone at night. Yeah, there are a lot of incidents where students, got robbed and stuff. So be careful.
Okay, you sound like a mom, Stella. Be careful.
They're really supportive, and it's not nearly as cutthroat or competitive as some people might think, because I know that that's something that a lot of people are worried about. We have a really collaborative environment, and one of the things that really struck me was that very aspect, because I came from a very small high school where everything was very cutthroat, and coming here where there's this really supportive community, like you really do feel like we're all in this whole situation together. I remember someone telling me this during my college search and ultimate decision. When you're picking a college, you're picking the type of person who you want to be. And I chose Cornell, and I'm growing to really love the person I'm becoming as a result. And I'm really appreciative of all the opportunities that I've gotten. Okay, so I have to take the TCAT because the TCAT is like the bus. Because I work in the vet school, so I'm there 3 times a week. And when I, very, very occasionally, that's code for all the time, the TCAT is late. And that is less than ideal, especially when you've got like classes and like deadlines to make, and you're dependent on the bus, because I'm really short and I've got short legs. I'm not ashamed. I need the TCAT. So yeah.
Food, the dining hall food's overrated in my opinion. Yeah, some of the dining halls are pretty overrated, like especially north. Oh, gyms are pretty
Garbage
bad.
here, like grade deflation's pretty bad here.
I hate how they like curve down to a B-. I feel like what's really crappy is like how far Target and like Walmart is. Like,
Oh yeah,
like me and him lived in a townhouse, which is like
also dining halls don't have soda. They sell this
bubbly.
what's up nasty ass drink.
It's like super nasty. It's like
It's like
carbonated
flavored water. It's like nasty. I don't think anyone drinks it.
But like for me and him, we lived in a townhouse and we only had like a 7-meal plan for 1 week. So like we had to go to Target like every 2 weeks, which is like kind of hard.
It's mad far. But there's for me as a Korean, I find it hard. As a Korean American, I find it hard to make friends with international Koreans or like international students. I feel like they're very exclusive. That's a bad thing about Cornell. Like, it's very diverse, but all the racial groups are very exclusive. So like, typically Asians hang out with each other with only Asians, and then like African Americans usually hang out with their ethnic group, and the whites, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's very like, it's diverse, but it's very segregated in that way. Getting your haircut here is like, there's not that many good hair salons.
Yeah, it's pretty
Like,
hard.
I go to Ace, which I like personally, but like, some of my friends don't like it. I don't know why. I mean, I think they do.
Like some people will like drive all the way to Syracuse just to get a haircut.
Like sports, there's not very much school pride, I would say. Like, I feel like nobody goes to like basketball, football,
Like any sporting events except for hockey.
Yeah, I feel like hockey's like the only like popular one. Like, they make us pay separate for gyms. Like, other universities include gym.
Printing.
Printing, like washing your like dryers, like
Yeah.
laundry usually included, but nope, Cornell likes to be stingy and the steals all. You have to pay for everything here. That's like,
Oh, I hate how like I feel like they don't have enough libraries or like seating areas for like study rooms. Like during
libraries.
during prelim season, it's like there's this one library called cocktail library or cocktail lounge, and it gets mad packed during prelim season. You can't find a seat. There's like the things called the stacks, which is really quiet but very depressing at the same time.
Wait, doesn't it suck how libraries and like dining halls are never open when you need it to be?
Yo, yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the hours of dining halls are like mad whack.
Yeah.
They're
Like only one dining hall will be open on like Saturday, Sundays, like which is a Pell,
and dining halls are like so far away from like the libraries, so you like waste so much time
just having to walk
trying
back
to get and forth. Yeah, and then like
You're wasting at least like an hour and a
the
half.
bad thing about Cornell is that the campus is so big, you waste so much time that you could be studying just
Unless you have a booster board.
because you're
Yeah.
walking. God damn.
Wait, yeah, and Cocktail is the only library that's like 24/7, right?
Yes. No other libraries open. Like all of them
the
are.
engineering one is open, but that's like
Like the
far.
latest ones are like open to like 1 or 2, which is not enough time for like students.
In conclusion,
In conclusion,
I would say come to Cornell. It's
alright,
very
we need a little thing like these weighted things, pros and cons.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
pros are like this. Like
the pros are
honestly,
down
the
here.
cons are all very tolerable. Yeah,
It's
the
not too
pros
bad.
make it definitely worth coming to Cornell.
I feel like we're just exaggerating the cons just to show like.
And Chris is here,
Yeah, Chris.
so that's why you should definitely come.
Yeah, Chris is here, famous YouTuber.
Yeah.
Him and Katie
Katie McKay.
No, Katie Tracy. Shout out to my boy Chris for making these videos for all you fools. As you guys cannot probably go visit the school because of COVID-19.
Cool, thank you guys.
Chris is gonna have to edit so much.